This October is not only eclipse season, but we also are going to have about half the planets in the sky retrograde, which means that it's more so time for rethinking what you've accomplished this year so far and being open to what new things life is going to drop in front of you instead of having a preemptive plan. So go with the flow, and even though expect major change, I wouldn't try to facilitate that change. I would be receptive. So if you're excited to dive into what we can expect this October 2024 astrologically coming up, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you are always up to date with what the stars have in store for you. If you're new here, hi, I am Maren. I make astrology videos. I also make music. If you want to look at my music, you can find me wherever you want to find me. If you want my astrology courses or one-on-one readings, I offer those at the links below. Otherwise, in this video, we're going to start out by talking about the astrology itself and what to expect collectively, and we'll pull a tarot card at the end to see what other information we can prepare for this month, which is an important month because eclipse season. So we're starting out the month with a bang because on October 2nd, there is a total solar eclipse in Libra. So I have a full video dedicated to this eclipse that you can most certainly watch, but the short version is that solar eclipses are huge new beginnings. One domino is going to fall that allows for 6 months of growth in a particular area of your life. This eclipse is on the south node, which shows letting go or releasing. So it's a paradox of a huge new beginning and door opening, but at the same time, it's because you are letting go and finalizing a year-and-a-half departure from a certain area of your life. You've been cleaning it out. Since it's in Libra, it's probably going to involve people or other parties and social agreements or dynamics. So expect in your own life and to see collectively big social agreements and big decisions into a new direction in an area of your life that is wide open because you cleared it out beginning of this October. That first domino is going to fall and then eclipses build over the next 6 months. Like, don't be surprised if it's like one decision that you then like 6 months later are like, holy shit, that was that eclipse. Then on the 5th to the 6th, Mercury in Libra is going to square Mars in Cancer. This is not a very serious transit, but do be aware that around the 5th to the 6th, you are likely to be argumentative, fighting, or just verbally more combative with people. So watch out, I wouldn't have meetings then. Then from the 7th to the 9th, Mercury and Venus will be in Scorpio. So Mercury in Scorpio, a little bit darker, more selective, intense, specific with language, maybe a little bit dramatic, or too like just unnecessarily paranoid as well. It's one of the callouts of Mercury and Scorpio, tangent here, is that Mercury and Scorpio bitches are so fucking paranoid and interrogative. Is that the word? Like, they're very interrogational. They have it's not a bad placement at all. I noticed my Mercury in Leo, which is very, like, bubbly. You guys are like, bitch, like, sit down, handcuffs, I'm like, okay, guys, all right. Anyway, Mercury and Venus and Scorpio are going to be trine Mars and Cancer. This actually shows that by the 7th to the 9th, you're going to be on top of your shit. So even though 5th to the 6th, argumentative, 7th to the 9th shows that your words and your actions with Venus and Scorpio, specifically values and actions and how you're relationally interacting with others, you are on point to get shit done, and you're direct and you're being straightforward, 7th to the 9th. Then on the 9th as well, Jupiter is going to station retrograde in Gemini. So Jupiter stationing retrograde isn't really going to have like a specific overall collective momentary energy. What you will find is that a lot of the growth of the conversations or the debates and the top of mind big points this year of like whether it's memes or whether it is trends socially, because Jupiter and Gemini I think saw a growth of social trends and a growth of like niche. I mean, I hate to like even bring this into this or whatever, but I felt like Brat Summer was a really good example of Jupiter entering Gemini because it was like the growth of the examination of the meta of social trends, because Gemini is this like social tea energy, and it was the growth of that and that being like kind of memeified or meta-ified. Anyway, Jupiter going retrograde shows that it's kind of like the inverse of that, and we're reflecting on it and rethinking that growth. If you know the Gemini house in your chart, check that house because it shows that you are rethinking the growth there or rethinking the progress and refining it rather than moving forward. So that's one of the planets retrograde, showing that we're going back and refining rather than moving forward. Then from the 12th to the 15th, the Sun in Libra is going to square Mars in Cancer, another combative energy. From the 12th to the 15th, I would say watch out for competing egos or like having like just a kind of like you were facing off to show who is like bossiest kind of thing. Watch out for ego fighting at the middle of the month. Also from the 14th to the 15th, Venus in Scorpio is going to oppose Uranus in Taurus. Venus in Scorpio already tends towards the dramatic and unnecessarily dark or intense. And opposite Uranus shows relationship chaos and shock factor statements and doing things for attention that are dark and shocking. Watch out middle of the month for people to get your attention or for you yourself to just act batshit for attention. You're like, I just jumped off the building because you didn't text me back. That is very much this kind of energy. Watch out. On the 17th, we then have the next and final eclipse of this year, which is the lunar eclipse in Aries. This is the final eclipse in the cycle of Aries and Libra over the past year and a half. It is a partial eclipse. It's pretty far away, but it still shows an ending and a letting go of a commitment that you have made over the past year and a half to put yourself first and be independent in a certain area of your life. So the Aries house in your chart has shown independence, growth, and a lot of focus and severe dedication over the past year and a half or so. This is showing that you are now letting go of something that you've accomplished and you're departing from that area of your life. And so it's showing that you've worked hard enough to get to a certain point of now releasing or ending that chapter. And this ending is not one-off, it is an eclipse, which means that this one event triggers a 6-month kind of letting go here. That will tie up eclipse season. And also on the 17th, Venus enters Sagittarius. Venus entering Sagittarius is definitely a breath of fresh air from all this Scorpio energy. It shows a little bit more lighthearted, adventurous relationship energy coming in the middle of this month. Then on the 23rd, the Sun enters Scorpio, which brings us definitely like back into a little bit of that dark, intense, stubborn, internal energy. Scorpio season is spooky. That's the word for it. It's not bad at all. I love Scorpio. Scorpio is my favorite sign along with Cancer, but it definitely is a darker, more introverted energy. Then on the 26th to the 29th, Mars and Cancer will try Neptune and Pisces. Even though Mars and Cancer is not the easiest placement, having this trine shows acting with faith or acting with moral integrity at the end of this month. Also on the 28th, Venus in Sagittarius is going to square Saturn and Pisces, which could show blockages, rejections, or coldness in interpersonal relationships briefly at the end of this month. And finally, we end the month on the 30th to the 31st with Mercury and Scorpio opposite Uranus and Taurus, showing batshit shocking or blurting out kind of crazy conversation energy at the end of the month. It is definitely a blurting out random information, whoa, what kind of ending here with all these things combined, where we're trying to be graceful, but relationships feel kind of cold and people are saying random shit. And technically on November 1st, there's a new moon in Scorpio, but that does happen on the 1st technically, so we are ending the month here. Overall, as you can see, it's not a bad month, but it's definitely not a month that you want to plan something too rigid for. You want to see what comes up for you during this eclipse season and what the crazy relationship stuff is in your life specifically. The tarot card that we have here for this month is the Ace of Cups reversed. I've been pulling so many Cups reversed cards for so many different things. Cups, emotional fulfillment, reversed, letting go or being unfulfilled. Ace of Cups is literally what is your source of fulfillment that you depend on or that you get that source joy from. Remove it. Or detach. It's basically saying detach from what your dependency is. Like get a grip. That's kind of the energy of this. I don't like that. I don't like that too much. But so if you enjoyed this and you were looking forward to this month, or if you're not and you want to share that as well, leave me a comment down below. I'm interested to hear how you guys are feeling about this eclipse season and retrogradation period. Anyway, hope you get through it. I will see you in the next one.